Hello YouTube, Iconic Al here, and this is my 2024 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame ballot submission. Thank you to Mike Moynihan for starting this tradition, and thank you to Jake, Legends Never Die, for continuing that tradition and upholding this great tradition in the community, which, let's be honest, it's not a big deal. It's not a serious thing in the scope of life. But if you're anything like me, and you're a content creator, you sink hours every week into your videos, and it matters, you know? To be recognized by your peers, for the entertainment, for the education, for just the camaraderie that you're providing to the community, it does matter. And so that's what this is all about. Not about the drama, but about lifting up other channels that you truly enjoy and watch. So that's what I'm doing here. And along those lines, I have disabled all comments, likes, dislikes on this video because, quite frankly, I don't care what anyone thinks about my ballot. It's my ballot. It's the way I feel, and it's the way I'm gonna vote. And so if that's something that appeals to anybody else out there submitting a ballot, I urge you, and maybe it'll become standard practice in this whole voting process, to make your ballot submission a video that cannot be commented on, liked, disliked. That way, it's truly just that, a ballot. The only person that I truly care that sees this video is Jake, so that my vote can be counted. Okay? Without any further ado, I have 10 selections. All 10 of these channels are channels that I watch and draw value from in one way or another. And I try to do a good breadth, a good variety of channels that do a variety of different things. I'll start at the top with some collector channels. Don of Don's Field of Dreams. One of the best guys in the community, great vintage collection. He's gonna get in this year because he deserves to. A great hobbyist, a great individual, a big softie, a Stan Musial guy, a Pittsburgh guy. I hate to say that I'm not playing favorites, but I kind of am, and I don't care. Don, you have my vote. Don's Field of Dreams. All right, number 2, Eddie of Eddie's Cardboard Chaos. When I think of Eddie, a card community guy, a guy in the community that is really important, a pillar, if you would, a great collector channel, Eddie's Cardboard Chaos. Number 3, again, this is a guy that I met at this past national and couldn't have been nicer to me. Ken of Ken's Cardboard, a local Colorado guy. I live in Colorado. He has been on YouTube for a long time, creating content, a great collector of Rocky's cards, Arenado, Blackman, Jackie Robinson. He has a lot of different things that he's into, Star Wars. So I like the variety of stuff that he's into, and I really do enjoy his channel. So Ken's Cardboard, love it. So he's number 3. Number 4, DKs Cardboard, or DK Cardboard. This guy named Doug Kahn, and he gets my vote just because I love his sense of humor. I love the energy and the creativity that he brings to YouTube. His character, Dougie K, a real character, Dougie K. But I love Doug and his energy. We also overlap quite a bit in our collecting style with pre-war all-time greats. And so DK Cardboard, absolutely, he's number 4 for me. Number 5, now we get into some of the more informational channels, the channels that I really learn a lot from, because there's a lot of data involved and a lot of really deep dives into charts, graphs, numbers. Let's start with this. Chris Sewell, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. One of the most overwhelmingly successful YouTubers in terms of subscribers. I think he has over 64,000 subscribers, which is remarkable. But he also just has a deep knowledge of the hobby from so many different angles, as a former dealer, as someone who buys collections and sells them, someone who submits grading orders all the time and gets them back, and just has a lot of hobby savvy and a lot of knowledge that he can pass along to just about anybody that's watching his channel. So I highly respect Chris Sewell, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. He should be a slam dunk Hall of Famer this year. So that's number 5. Number 6, John Wade Boggs fan. And I lump him in with sort of an informational channel. He does a lot of data. He goes into a lot of deep dives when it comes to mining data and making lists of highest selling of a decade or of a set. He's also just a passionate Wade Boggs fan and collector, one of the true super collectors of Wade Boggs, and I respect that. So on many levels, and he's just a great guy. Met him at this year's National and last year's National. So John Wade Boggs fan, a deserving member of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame, in my opinion. All right, so now we're on to some of the interview channels, podcast channels. I really watch a lot of podcasts, or listen to a lot of podcasts, and then watch the interviews of notable collectors or people in the hobby. And in my opinion, 2 of the best interview channels that I don't hear a lot of love for in these Ballot videos so far are Sports Cards Live, starring Jeremy Lee. Jeremy Lee, a phenomenal interviewer, and I just love, working out, and then I'll put my earbuds in and I'll listen to one of Jeremy Lee's interviews. No matter who it is, there is something to be gained, some hobby knowledge or some new angle of the hobby to consider. But I just love Jeremy Lee and his knack for pulling great interviews out of whoever he has on. So big shout out to Sports Cards Live with Jeremy Lee. And I think he's a deserving member of the YouTube Sports Cards Hall of Fame. Along those same lines, number 8, Sports Card Nation, John Newman. A similar kind of channel, a lot of interview-based entertainment. He talks to a lot of notable people in the hobby. I actually went on John Newman's channel a couple months back. He was great to me. We chatted for an hour and a half off of camera before the interview, and then the interview started. We talked for another 40 minutes after the interview. So just an immensely great dude, a true mensch, if you will. John Newman, a deserving member of the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. All right, number 9, this is a larger channel and a modern channel. I don't feel we don't have many modern channels in the Hall of Fame right now, so I'm gonna nominate Scott Baldwin of Scotty B Cards. This is a channel that, not a lot of members of the YouTube Sports Cards Hall of Fame are into modern or ultra modern cards. I don't collect a lot of modern or ultra modern, but I really like how Scotty B breaks down modern players, how he ranks them and categorizes them, and then talks strategy on kind of what inserts or parallels or different things to focus on. Even though that's not my bread and butter, that's not the focus of my collection, I really respect what he's doing, and I do gain a lot of knowledge from Scotty B's channel, and I respect his journey. He started a card shop, and he's owned a card shop, and so he's been in the hobby and done a lot of things in the hobby, so Scotty B Cards gets my vote. And then last but not least, this may be the most quote-unquote controversial pick, but again, I don't care. If it weren't for this guy, I may have never found that there was a sports card category on YouTube. I never probably would have found this hobby community in the first place, and that is Dustin of Sports Card Dad. A guy that really works. I mean, this guy has produced a video a day just about for 3 or 4 years. I mean, we're talking about a guy who pumps out a video, and that's said with respect because he's talking about topical things in the hobby. Sort of the way I view his channel is a pulse of the hobby, or a pulse of the what's hot in the hobby. And I don't follow a lot of those channels, but I met Dustin at the National in 2022, and he couldn't have been nicer. He was genuinely a great, nice dude. He was very nice to me. He's given me shout outs on his channel before, and I've done a couple collaborations with him on his channel before, and he couldn't be nicer. And I respect the fact that he's out there making a video just about every day about some topical hobby, topic. And that counts for something. And for me, I like to go to work early, pull up, the Dustin video for the morning, and then just get caught up with, okay, what's the thing that's going on in the hobby? It's just something that I like to do every day. And it's sort of, okay, just like gets me started in my morning routine. And it's like, it's nice to have that. Without that, I feel like there'd be a little something missing, Even though I don't really care so much usually about the hot thing in the hobby, it's still fun to kind of follow something. And I like to be in the know, so to speak. If there's some new scam that's happened or some new thing that's blowing up and everyone's talking about it, I at least want to know what that is or be aware of it. And generally, Dustin's channel is how I become aware of those things, because I don't follow a lot of those channels, like I said. But I think there is no other channel that has garnered a greater following, that is as consistent, and he leads with passion. He's a collector himself. So this is my case for the Sports Card Dad. Like him or not, I find value in what he does, and I think it's impressive, quite frankly, as a fellow content creator. And that is my submission. Thank you for watching.